What's up everyone, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and I want to give you a head-to-head comparison of the two Xbox 360 models. So on one hand, we've got the new, just announced a few days ago, Xbox 360. I'm going to call it the Xbox 360 Slim. On the other, we've got the outgoing Xbox 360, which in this case is the Black Elite version. So on an aesthetic standpoint, there are clearly a ton of differences with how these two look. On one hand, the Slim is shiny, it's black, it's thinner, it's got a new design. On the other hand, we've got the outgoing model. It was a bit understated, it had the matte finish, and it was sort of a classic design. Whether you loved it or hated it, you're sort of used to seeing it. So it's sort of strange to see a brand new Xbox 360 model. This one is significantly smaller, lighter, and thinner. And let me go ahead and show you. You can see right here, there's a big difference at the top. Let me show you what that looks like when they're stacked on top of each other. And I'll go over some of the more physical differences between the two. So go ahead and put them right here. And just off the top of the bat, you can see that there's definitely a difference. This one is about an inch, I would say. There we go, about an inch to an inch and a half larger, and that's probably due to the external hard drive that the outgoing model had. In this case, I've got a 120 gigabyte version right here. This hard drive just popped out, and it sort of protruded a bit on top. You can see it right there. The new one has an internal hard drive, which is still user accessible, but it got rid of this sort of proprietary format, which is nice. You can actually replace the hard drive if you choose. So let's go ahead and look at the front of the devices, because there's a lot to talk about here. So on the outgoing model, the power button right down here is actually a physical button. You push it in, you make a clicking noise, the tray would open up. On the new model, it's actually touch sensitive, so there's no physical click. You tap it and the tray will open. You had two memory units, which if you didn't have a hard drive, you could pop in, had a little bit of storage on it, you could access Xbox Live. That is gone on the new version. Those slots are not there. You do have two USB ports on the bottom, which are sort of recessed. They are still there, two USB ports right on the front. So just on the front, you can definitely see the differences. You've got an IR sensor right there. It's sort of hidden on the new version. This one also is sort of riddled with vents. Vents are everywhere on this new Xbox 360. You've got vents on the side. We've got vents on the top, and sort of in that diagonal look. Vents on the other side, and there's nothing on the back. And speaking of the back, let's talk about the differences here between the two, because there's a lot to discuss. Go ahead and put this one on its back. So you can see the outgoing model was sort of shy on ports. It had a USB port, your Ethernet port, HDMI port. In some cases, some of the older models didn't have that, and that weird proprietary AV port, and a very sort of strange power port. And that was about it. That was all you had. The new model has a bit more going on in the back. It's got a new power button, or a new power port. Uses just sort of a two-pronged approach. You've got optical audio, HDMI, that same proprietary port, Ethernet, the new AV port, which is going to be for the Kinect, which is the motion sensing controller, previously Project Natal, although all older Xbox 360s will be Kinect capable. I assume it'll just be a little bit of an adapter. And now 3 USB ports. And if you want to go wireless, none of these have to be used now with a wireless adapter. This now comes with 802.11n. So if you have a wireless network and using an N, you'll have very fast internet and very fast data transfers, which is quite nice. So one of the other gripes about the Xbox was the power brick, was that it was huge. The power brick was gigantic and really lived up to its name as being a brick. So let me show you what that looks like and show you a comparison with the new model. Got them right here. So here is the outgoing Xbox power brick. You can see very large. And here is the new one. Still large, but definitely smaller. And actually uses a bit